This is The Space Shot, episode 208 for December 8th, 2017. Dragon. Hey everyone, welcome to The Space Shot, your daily space history, pop culture, and news fix. I'm John Molnix. 7 years ago today, the SpaceX Dragon capsule was launched for the first time as part of the demonstration flights for the Commercial Orbital Transportation Services Program, or COTS. Before SpaceX was able to fly to the International Space Station, they had to first prove the capabilities of Dragon and the Falcon 9 rocket. COTS was a program that NASA allocated money to for the development and demonstration of commercial space vehicles. After the initial tests, there have now been regular resupply missions as part of the Commercial Resupply Services contract. So far, both SpaceX and Orbital ATK have flown commercial resupply missions to the International Space Station. The SpaceX Dragon capsule is capable of launching to the station and then returning to Earth with pressurized cargo and is now able to be reused for future flights. Currently, the SpaceX Dragon capsule is the only commercial capsule that's able to fly to the station and bring back cargo. Just a few days ago, the SS Gene Cernan departed the International Space Station after a multi-week stay. The SS Gene Cernan is an Orbital Sciences Cygnus spacecraft that's able to deliver cargo to the station, but it isn't designed to re-enter the atmosphere. Instead, those spacecraft burn up upon re-entry. The Dragon capsule that was launched 7 years ago today is on display at SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne, California. I've got some other Dragon-related news. SpaceX is scheduled to launch the next Dragon capsule for the CRS-13 mission on December 12th. This launch is going to be an interesting one for SpaceX, since both the Falcon 9 first stage and the Dragon capsule have flown before. In another bit of SpaceX-related news, Boeing CEO Dennis Muilenburg said that he believes the first people to arrive at Mars will do so on a Boeing rocket. Naturally, Elon Musk responded on Twitter by saying, quote, "Do it." Shortly after Musk's tweet, the Boeing company official Twitter account responded, quote, "Game on." It's exciting to see how the competition is shaping up between private companies, and if that's what it takes to get humans to Mars and even back to the moon, I'm all in. Competitive environments can spur creativity and innovation, so it's going to be fun to watch where this bit of back and forth on Twitter actually takes us. I've got one piece of space history from early in the space age here to close up the episode. On December 8th, 1956, the Vanguard Test Vehicle 0 launched from Cape Canaveral. This early flight involved the first stage of a Viking rocket, reaching an altitude of 126.5 miles. The Vanguard program started off as a Naval Research Laboratory project, but the program was transferred to NASA after the agency's creation in 1958. I hope you've enjoyed today's podcast. Do me a favor since you're still here and I've got your attention. I'd love if you could leave a review for the podcast on iTunes. iTunes reviews are the podcasting equivalent of water and oxygen for astronauts during spaceflight. They're absolutely necessary. Also, while you're in your podcast app of choice, make sure you hit the subscribe button. That way you don't miss any of the daily episodes. As always, the show notes have more information on today's episode. You can hit me up on Instagram and Twitter. Find me at John Molnix. I'm always up to chat. You can also connect with me on Facebook. Just search The Space Shot or click the link in the show notes. I am going to be getting back on the early morning release schedule now that I'm not traveling anymore. And tomorrow, I'm going to catch up on some sleep and also talk about STS-116. I'm John Molnix, and I'll catch you on the flip side.